exciting episode of PDNZ. It's been a couple of days, just been mucking around here, so I thought I'd better flick the camera on and start and update you on what I've been doing. So I'll take you for a bit of a walk and show you what I have and haven't done. Right, so I've been mucking around with the airlines, my marvellous labelling, it's all rubbed off, can't read, but luckily my colour code system's worked. Okay, as I've said before, I've put the old lines back on. Yeah, I'll go along and pull them out one at a time. At a later date, I'll replace what ones need doing. These blue ones aren't very good. The black ones they're all flexible and pliable. They haven't rubbed. That's something I've sort of checking as I put them on. So I've hung the new airlines I got made for the pots, cans, whatever you want to call them. That was to figure out what I was doing here. So they're all on. Nothing's zip tied up, nothing's bracketed in the frame yet, it's just all sitting there. Same on this side. Just a spaghetti of wires. Got a couple on the ground there, they're for airbags. So something I have done is ordered all the airbags and shocks. They'll turn up pretty soon. I went away to do that and I didn't bring them with me. Someone's going to drop them off for me. There was a couple of bits and pieces I ordered as well which they didn't have in stock, so they're going to get those for me. Headlights and a couple of pieces like that. Overview up here, I think you've previously seen that. Chuck the air system on the truck. Just mucking around with that at the moment. I just think of things to do and I walk past and go, oh, I need to do that, which is a lot. Battery box lid, like I need to panel beat that and get it all painted. Just, yeah, things working away at. So I've moved on to the cab. Something I did do yesterday was spent 5 hours of my life I'll never get back, and I buffed it. Used that buffing compound I put on the fuel tanks, went around, was pretty careful, used the edge of the fluffy wheel, didn't get too aggressive, kept it low speed. Still got a bit of build up around the rivets, but I didn't want to touch the top of the rivets too hard and cut the paint off them. It'd be pretty devastating. I see there's a couple of places where when I demasked it, I still had a bit of wet on the tape, and I hung the tape up and it marked it, but I managed to wet sand that out. That's come up all right. Sorry about the flickering on the camera, I've got the other lights going. I'll walk back and turn them off. I haven't got the camera set for it. It's better. And my next thing I'm doing is mucking around with this dash. Just put the cigarette lighter in. Pretty hard to find a vehicle with one of those now. Still have a 12 volt power point, but actual no cigarette lighter. I have got it for it. Not a smoker, but might take up smoking when I start driving it. The stress factor will kill me. So I've just, yeah, I was really great, eh? I just pulled all this air duct system out. I have no idea how it all goes. I've just found what one goes in the bottom here. Done that, and I think this one went on over here somewhere because of the air vents for the front window. Some doodacky thingamajig like that. Don't really know. That all looks way too high. I'll get to that. I'll just chuck that over there in the don't know what to do pile at the moment. There's a lot of that going on. And I put the new ignition switch in it down in here. Just took one wire off at a time and changed it over. It's brand new keys. So obviously the keys match the ignition and the door locks barrels that I put in. A bit of chipping going on there. Touch that up. And obviously the latches went in. I haven't finished any of that. just working the way around. Still got to put the panels in, obviously cut the rods off. A lot of things to do, a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to put this dash back together. I didn't do a photo library or anything with my phone as I pulled it apart, and I just disassembled, thinking I know what I'm doing, which I don't. It's alright, when you put it together and you got a lot of bits left over, you know you've done it wrong. I just keep jamming stuff in and into it until it all fits somewhere. So I'll tidy the wiring up in the back here. Obviously got a wiring diagram, checking numbers. It's going to get to the point where there's going to be things I can't quite diagnose, so the cab's got to go on so I can get power into it. It's going to be a bit of that happening. I'll figure out the roof lights. Might be something I'll come out and do early in the morning. Figure out what's earth and what's power, and I'll cut the connectors off the old lights and make a joint to the new ones so I can still disconnect. So with that, there's not really a lot more to see. It is moving along. It's achieving something every day. I'll just come and niggle away at it. It's good. Right, time to turn the camera on, show you what I've been up to. Got the driver's door panel here, just clean that. Yeah, lots of nuts and bolts here, little 3/16ths, been running die nuts and taps through holes. So I'll show you what I have done and what I haven't done. Right, dash is now installed. Been a big job. I didn't want to turn the camera on and bore you with 2 days of trying to fit the dash and finding all the correct screws and fixtures. I cut a strip of rubber, put under there, sitting down on it the best it can. What a job trying to get that in. Like putting these side bits in up here, and that, yes, I will paint the screw heads. So get that in. Like, I don't know where the day's gone. Well, I do. Worked on this. Yeah, door panel. What a mission. Man, what a job trying to get the inner steel bit on and then pick up all the screw holes and get this fitted. Not moaning about it, but yeah, what a job. See, I'm missing some bits on here. I'll do a bit of research on that. Just the end bit there. Spare cover going there. Yeah, got my CB antenna wire, threaded all that through the door, obviously before I enclosed it. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here, video won't like it. Yeah, like fitting all the little screws on here, identifying the threads, getting all the fixtures right, like glove compartment, fixed all that up, got all that fitted on there. Got the hinge fixed, that was broken. So I still got the little compartment to go in the top up there, but that'll be very last. I have to still figure out some ear stuff in there for a little extra thing I'm going to do. So they need to liven the cab to trace a few ear lines. Just don't want to go cutting lines and adding things that may not be live. Should be, I think, with what I've worked out. So yeah, I'm just going to fit this door panel. I've got it down here. Done a bit of panel beating on it, on the anvil here, with a blow hammer. Straightened it out the best I can. I'll put the door lining on, you'd never know. Just blowing all that out. Here's my light here, sorry, I'll turn it on. That helps. So yeah, getting all that dash fitted in there. I've run a little tap through all the holes there where the dash will obviously screw to. Same on that one over there. I've put the control lever in for the trailer brake. It isn't active in this truck. Well, I talked about it previously. Well, I know I have. They put a trailer control on the steering column, and this one's live down here. But I've got a use for that one up there. I am going to liven it. I'm going to steal the air for something else, which I shall show later on if it happens. So yeah, as I say, it's a big job. So I get this door finished here, and then I'm not too sure what do I end up picking up and putting in my hand. I'll work on. Need to get the roof lights on before the lining goes in. So I'll probably tackle the roof stuff next. Not a lot more I can do on here. I don't want to put the seats in until all the cab lining's in. So you're obviously climbing in and out all the time, and get the wiring sorted. So it's just a quick update. I mean, there's been 3 days go by from when I started that dash, and it is now in. So obviously I don't turn the camera on to pick up every nut and bolt. Same on this side, threaded all of my wiring through. This will be a normal radio wire here. Got an antenna to go on the mirror mount. And this cut-off wire here, this truck's got mirror heat on it, but I'm probably not going to make those active because I don't even know if they work in the mirrors. I'm thinking about stealing that there if I can liven it for some work lights. I'll mount them on the mirror brackets here, some little LEDs shining back beside the cab. Just, yeah, night time you're reversing into a trailer or something. And I haven't decided whether I'll put a rear view camera in the truck. Probably will, but I'll mount that somewhere behind the cab. It'll go probably like where the trailer couplings are. Make a little bracket and put it there. I don't want to run wiring through the cab down out onto the roof. Don't want to drill holes in it. Just run the wire with the lumen up through the steering column. So yeah, the back's moving along. As I said, put the airlines in. I'll wait for my parts to turn up to get the airbags fitted, get the shocks in if they're the right ones, and yeah, keep working away at the frame slowly. But I've just, I don't know, walked away from that for a while and just concentrating on this cab. I mean, I can get the mirrors on, get all the grab handles fitted, and side indicator lights, get all those mounted up. The headlights, they should arrive with the other stuff that I've ordered. So I mean, all the headlight mounting fixtures need painting. Put the grab handles on. They were obviously a chrome, but they'd gone rusty. So I sanded them, and yeah, I've just decided to turn them black. At least they look tidy like that. May not fancy everyone, but it's, yeah, what it is. It's better than having a rusty handle on there. I mean, the theme is a lot of black and white on this truck. I mean, as we've called it, the Bumblebee truck. So I've got to keep it right. Look good when the visor goes on, but that'll be very last. I mean, I've done all the mountings. It's had a test fit. They're all brand new riv nuts in there. And I've got all the stainless bolts to go in there. So all that'll just go straight on, but that'll go on after the windows are in, because we obviously don't want to be fighting with that in the way. So that's a bit of an update with that. I'll yeah, give you another one in a couple of days time, depending upon how much I work on it, what I get done. So it's moving along slowly. I'm really happy with it. It's starting to look like a truck again now. And, yeah, I realise that last little bit's going to be the killer. But yeah, I am making sure I try and do everything as I go. Any touch-up work and paint and just finishing stuff, just not leaving it and going, I'll do that later. I am tackling it, and then yeah, not such a big thing at the end. The wiring and the airlines, that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but should go alright. Everything's labelled, put it back together, and whatever leaks I've got and what doesn't work, we'll just diagnose at the time and work my way through it. With that, I'll put this down and give you an update later on. Right, something a little bit off topic here. Obviously the channel's about the truck and what we're doing, but you've got another little project happening here. My young fella's got my farm lay in the shop here, and just taught him how to set up a puller. And we're just carefully removing the front pulley. We've got an oil seal to do in the front, and a radiator which is going to be up for repair. going to talk to the radiator person about that. So I'll just show you some of the gear we've got and what we do. Slowly coming off. A bit tight. Going. Yeah, they were pressing the crankshaft out the back side of the engine.
What's that squeaking?
I should have put a little bit of oil on the threads. There we are. Shouldn't be that tight now. Still moving. Yeah, still coming out.
How long is this?
I don't know, it'll all go loose and should just come off, fall off.
Do you mean this one?
The whole lot should just come off soon.
And this
Keep
will
going.
plonk onto the ground?
Yeah, onto your safety footwear you've got on.
Will it?
We don't want it to fall on the ground.
Or will it move?
Keep going. Hold it up.
Because apparently my safety footwear is not the best.
Yeah. I've never pulled one off one of these engines, so I hope I'm doing it right.
Probably not.
It's still tight on there. Keep going. Alright. Alright, just stop for a minute and I'm going to let it off and have a look. Okay, usual story, haven't turned the camera on. Thought I'd better do a before and an after, show you what I'm doing. So, whatever you want to call this. It's not a cup holder, but got an ashtray and little loose coins going there, nickels and quarters. I've rubbed that down, gonna paint that because the dash got painted and it sits with it. Flashing light, it's an old style one with the rubber bands and the revolving pieces in there. Non-LED obviously for it to do that, but I want to keep it. The light itself's in good order, the bracket just wants painting, so I'm going to touch that up. And then I move on to the headlights. Well, the brackets, the cups, whatever you want to call them. So as you can see, the paint's come off them and they've been oversprayed and all sorts of things. So I've given them a good clean down. You don't actually see, I'll put that on the right way. That'll go on that one there. You don't actually see any of it time you put the, I think that's called the bezel, isn't it? Headlight bezel. Sorry if I'm incorrect. So these here, I realised you can buy new ones. When I bought the headlights, the guy was going to sell them to me and I said, oh yeah, I'll have a look at the ones I've got. Well yeah, they had it, been oversprayed and the fake chrome's coming off. So I've rubbed them down, and just for shits and giggles I'm going to have a go at painting them. I'm going to go all black, see what it looks like. I mean, if they're no good, I just leave them off and I'll get some new ones and put on there. And these front pieces go under the front of the cab, go up under like that. I realised some models have got indicators mounted in them and that, marker lights, but this truck never had it, so I'm going to give them a squirt. Something I left laying on the bench and got overspray on it. The panel goes inside the dog house, cover up the wiring, give that a touch up. Rub down the wiper arms, I'll spray them and then rotate them. And the little holders that hold the headlights, they've gone rusty, so I've rubbed them down. I don't know if the paint's going to stick to them, probably won't. It's not designed to do that, but I'm going to have a go. Don't really care. Doesn't work, I'll rub it off and come up with another plan. So I just thought I'll show you a before and then I'll bring you back after I've given it a Dulux overhaul and see what it looks like. Alright, the after pictures. Nearly forgot, started carrying the stuff back in and going to put it in the cab. It's like, whoop, haven't videoed. There's those front corner pieces go under the cab. They'll be under the driver's side for us, right hand side. They come up alright. Go for a little walk over here. Pretty bright sunlight today. There's the flashing light. Did the underside of all that. all the lighting gear. The arms come up pretty good. I know it's a bit hard with the light on the camera here. Pretty happy with that. So, thought I'll show you that. Even though I know it's hard in the sunlight, but it gives you some idea. I'll show you when it's on the truck, obviously. Just to show you what I'm up to, I've fitting the grab handles on, done the sleeper box door, and obviously haven't done the other grab handle yet. So I got some metric wise 1.5 rubber. It's fuel resistant and all that, because I might use it for other things as well around the shop. So I was thinking about how, because those rivet nuts stick proud, and which is okay. I mean, it's going to keep the handle work off the paint, but then there's still a big gap under there, and I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So I've gone and hole punched these out. I need 2 hands to do that, but I put that on there like that when I'm ready. So I've done those, and obviously I've cut the bottom one out as well. I'm not sure what, I think it goes that way. That'll fit over there. So that keeps everything off the paintwork. I just don't want to bolt handles up against the paint and put pressure on. I need to go around with a razor blade and I'll carefully trim the excess rubber. Obviously I've made a couple and then you rotate them to put them on, and yeah, I've drawn them a bit different. But that's all good. It's trimmable. I'll fix that. So I'll just sort of show you what I'm doing with the rubber. I'll flick you back on as I get the handle on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I got it on. I should have left the camera on. It fought me all the way. Got the bottom in, but I had to cut a bolt. Obviously it's hitting something on the inside and quite long. Put that on. That top up there, that was a mission, but it's on. Half my trouble is the rivets I've put in here. The visor won't worry me. Actually it might a little bit. Visor's thin though, it'll move. I put a straight edge across there, and yeah, sticking out a fraction more than obviously the flange or the face of the nut. That's right, the rubbers, that's why the rubber's in there as well. Takes it all up. Got the mirror mounts on. As I said, got to go around and razor blade the rubbers where I've got them sticking through, but I'll sort that out. So I've just got the handles to go on either side of the cab, on the back of the bunk there. See the bolts sticking out. I was trying to work out how many bolts I had left and what was going on. So I filled the holes on the other side of the cab with my spare bolts. So yeah, I got enough to chuck that one on. I'll cut the rubbers for those and try and get that mounted. Got the driver's side on for us. That one went on right, went on really good. All I had to do was bend the guttering out a little bit up here. I went along and straightened all that before I painted, thinking it was quite clever, but I know what was bent out just there now. Yeah, fit the handle. Same thing, got the mirror mounts. They're going on. I'll sort some hardware out for those. I'm going to be short of a couple of bolts. I was just having a bit of a calculation for the visor. Yeah, I didn't really work it out when I went and bought them. I just grabbed like half a dozen of each type bolt, 2 sizes I was going to use, and yeah, I see I'm a bit short here. That's okay. Town's close for me. Today went to town and got some more of this marvellous edging material. This is an aluminium insert in that. I'll just put that on where the hoses are going to possibly rub, and yeah, and the cross members in the circles, I'll show you later. I can always get more of that, and I bought a sheet of that rubber. So I'm just cutting my backing out of for the anything I mount. Like I'm going to put the name badge on the truck down on the side here. Down here, I'll cut a piece of rubber to go behind it. I don't care what it looks like. I just don't want the badge rubbing on the truck. If I ever change it out or something happens to it, at least I haven't gone and ruined all the paint. Just try and give it a bit of protection. So yeah, it's moving forward. I'll flick you off and I'll bring you back when I do something else to entertain you. Right, a quick turn the camera on and show you what I have done. It's taken me a couple of days. I've only had an hour a day to do this. I've got the marker lights fitted, as you can see, and got the trumpets on. I had a big think about these trumpets, horns. Yeah, they're quite, I call it watermarked, but marking in the chrome. Gave them a rub. From a distance they look good, but obviously close up they're not. Thought about painting them, but I'll let them be. They're non-operational. They're not hooked up internally. I'm going to go with another horn option, but just put them on for ornaments. So the marker lights, yeah, it was rather interesting. They black and white wires inside, and I just assumed that the black was earth. And I jointed one and heat shrinked it and all that, and I thought just go out and test it on a battery. Didn't go. Swap the wires over and it goes. Oh dear, the white is the earth. Well, I hope it's the same with all of them, because I've gone and put them all on. Because I didn't show it, but I cut the wires off the old ones to keep the plugs. So up inside here, eventually when I get inside the truck, the wires will be up here somewhere, and I will just replug them. No, there's one over there sticking down. Yeah, I'll just replug them in and hopefully they all go. Any trouble in the shop here, everything gets covered in dust. Anything you're doing, it's right, a bit of polish. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. The visor's going to stay off until the windows are in, obviously. Get access to that. So my other thing is, in the shop here, obviously, as I talked about before, everything I did, I oversprayed. So I've got to get some alcohol to clean that off. So same with that, it all got painted. I've cleaned the back up, but the glass, I'll give it a clean. I might muck around and see if I can get those fitted. The arm is here for the driver's side for us. They welded a bracket on there, obviously for some sort of antenna, but they blew holes all in the frame when they did it. So I went through and just filled it with mud, cleaned it all up. I mean, if this was a show truck, you obviously wouldn't put up with this type of thing. You put new ones on, or you go and get them chromed or something. But yeah, she's not a show pony, as we've talked about. It's going to be a practical truck. So I might try and find some mounting hardware for this, and I have got a few stainless bolts floating around. Otherwise I'll obtain some, get the mirror brackets on, try and set them up. So apart from that, I've got a lot more to show. Got the handles on, obviously. I think I've showed those in the previous. Been a while since I've turned the camera on, so I'm not sure what I've done and haven't done. They've gone all right. I did go around with a craft knife, and I've cut the rubbers around all these. They were sticking out, trimmed all those. They've come up all right. Mirror brackets, don't know what way they were meant to be, but I figured it out that the arms fit with them in that position. That's how I'm going to put them anyway. Alright, put the camera down and muck around with a little bit more. Mirror brackets are on. Went through my hardware department and found the stainless bolts and some of the hardware that did come with them. I managed to save some of those, a couple of new bolts and a big thick spacer under there. Some of the stainless stuff I've got actually come off a Freightliner I had. It had a roof kit on it. We took it all off when we bought it. It wasn't going to be any good to us. We smashed in the first day. So it had all stainless fittings and bolts and brackets. I kept all those. So yeah, come in handy. Got the normal AM FM antenna on there. Got the wire run down through the door and all that. I do have to do a little bit of fine tuning here. I can get some little grommets to go in there over that. I'd have to cut them obviously and put them around and feed them in and just silicone that up. So got this door here all mounted up, got the mirrors on there, got the CB antenna on there, cables run, same thing, some grommets later on in there, fix that up. This may not stay, this dome mirror, whatever you only call them. I just, yeah, it was on there, I just left it for now. I've had all the mountings obviously to pieces and all that's cleaned up thread wise, so it's not hard to disassemble and get rid of that if I want or change it. I put the above door mirror on as well, got all that mounted. And I'll show you what I've been doing in here. I'll just flick the light on. So I've started putting all the installation material back on the roof. Yeah, there's a couple of blue ones. I was missing a couple when I pulled it to pieces, so I had that left over from when I did my floor mat design. You can see a couple of sheets over there. I've been cutting those up and shoving them up like above the driver's door there, trying to cover any exposed area of the roof. Yeah, the sleeper ones are all there. Careful with those. I've still mixed things up, but it's in there. So my next major thing will be to bring all the panel work in for the sleeper. A bit of a clean up in here first and sort out some mounting screws and that. And I honestly don't remember the order that I pulled it all out. So I need to look at the overlaps and see what goes in. And obviously the console's got to go up in the roof, but I just don't remember what I did. I didn't video it. I should have taken a load of photos, but wasn't really thinking at the time about all that. Just thought it won't be hard to go back, but yeah, it is going to be hard. But if that's the only thing I've got to worry about, we're doing pretty good. All the doghouse come up all right. As I said, that can be reupholstered later on. It's not a major, I know how to get it out real easily. I only got to loosen the dash and I can slip all that out if I wish to take it away and get a new interior ever made for this truck if I think it needs it. The door panel went on, you know, I can live with it. As I said, it was a full ground up restoration. You would have sanded all these door frames and repainted all the internals, but I just haven't gone to that extent. I'll clean up the aluminium around the door frame here. I'll give it a rub, which I already have on this side. There's no overspray on that. Just make it presentable. And I got all new door rubbers. They're all sitting in the office here, waiting to go on, but none of that will go on until I've done the lift for the cab, because my woodwork will sit through up here and it'll be pretty hard on the door seal. I'll just replace those later. It's not a major just to pull them and cut to length. While I'm climbing in and out all the time and dragging stuff in and out, just didn't want to put new stuff there, because obviously there's stainless steel edging to go on here to hold this mat down and form the edging for it. Same thing, none of that's going to go in until I've virtually complete. And yeah, get the seats in. The seats will be the very last thing to go in this truck. They're ready, as you know. Watch my previous videos, you'll see what I've done to them. And I do have to do a bit of touch-up work. This door doesn't quite shut the way it's lifting, so I'll have a look at that, give it a tweak, little things like that. The cab may move too when I lift. Yeah, the seats are sitting over here. I did a pretty intelligent thing. I covered them all when I painted in the shop here, but I can see on here I've still yeah, got white on there. I'll try and get that off. Obviously I did some extra not thinking, and I went to all the trouble of painting these, and I fought with the paint at the time, and yeah, it's got dust on it, but I can see speckles of overspray on there. Must have went up under my cover, but I'll give them a wipe down and just see if I can tidy those up. But a couple of little disasters like that. Nothing to cry about too much. The old shelf's getting emptier up there. All the bits I pulled off. It's just a couple of internal sleeper bits. Same scenario, I'll need to wipe those down, covered in dust and overspray, but I'll clean up. I've got all the arms there off the fenders, mudguards. I'll probably reuse those, but yeah, that's a bit of a unknown thing at the moment, what I'm going to do there. Centre console, give that a clean up, and get that back up in there. I just don't remember how all that bolted up and what it did. No doubt I'll figure it out when we get to it. So overall wrap up on the frame. Haven't done anything on it really this week. Haven't touched it. I'll jump back to that because my parts will turn up in another week, I think it is, when you're watching this for me. My airbags and shocks. And let's just hope that I've got the right things. We'll sort it out. All the headlight stuff sitting there. Talked about that previously. Something I will get onto pretty soon is I'm going to start on the rims. I'll get the gear I need to do that. Demount the tyres and start cleaning those. I'm just going to sort of leave that stuff until the weather packs up and it's not the best here. Work at the rims to sit here. These ones aren't actually too bad. As you can see, I stack everything on the truck. Mobile workbench for me. Got a bit of work to do here, just little things I can see, like I've got the filler hose for the engine oil. I've just put it on, but I mean it's sitting against the frame here, so I'll put some of the edging on I bought. That'll go there, but I really need to wrap this pipe with a bit of heat wrap because I can visualize what's going to happen straight off here. I sort of can't see where else to put it because of the angle it goes on down on the engine in there. I'd have to put a couple of 90s, but then you got the problem with this here, it's fixed here. I'd have to try and run it down into here and then along. A bit of a drama. I think I'll just wrap it, have a look after it's had a run if it's ever going to go, see what it's going to do. They're just little things, we just work through all those. It's going to be hoses rubbing and touching, and I've tried to be pretty careful when I've reassembled, but obviously I didn't pull the loom out, so who knows and all that. I've put the earth back on the radiator here, but like the cable's damaged there, so I'll repair that. Let's put it on so I remembered. I think, yeah, it's earthed out on there, okay. It's alright, it's earthed back to the frame. So, certainly it'd be a big achievement when we get the cab done and I manage to sit it back on the truck here. I just don't want to lift it and put it on there until I've nearly completed everything internally, because it's just too far to climb up and down all the time. Don't want to fall out. That'll happen. We'll get headlights all fitted and that, and try and get most of it, 95% of it done. So with that, I'll end this video here, and again I'll say thanks for viewing. I see I've got a few more subscribers. Comes up notifications, and sometimes have a look to see where you're from and if you've got any other YouTube channels, obviously. But yeah, by the time this channel gets a couple of hundred subscribers, I'll be finished uploading probably, unless I carried on with some other activities. But I can't see a lot more happening with the channel, but it's still out there for somebody. They'll find it and trying to do what I'm doing, and hopefully they might learn something from it, because I've learned a lot from watching other people. It's certainly got me a long way in what I'm doing. So with that, I'll say thanks for viewing, and yeah, make sure you hit the like button and smash that subscribe button. Thank you.